12th gen Corolla alternator replacement. Hey everybody, I got a 2022 Corolla LE with the 1.8 liter. I'm going to show you how to replace the alternator. Once you pop your hood, it is right here by the intake. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. First thing, let's get the belt off. It's a 14 millimeter on the belt tensioner. Just get yourself a long 14 millimeter. Draw yourself a belt diagram if you want. I'm going to go ahead and put this 14 on here and lift the tensioner upwards, and that'll loosen the belt a little bit. And then you could just reach in there with your other hand and remove it from the pulleys. If you remove it from the water pump pulley first, it kind of makes it easier. And then just kind of guide this guy out of here. We'll pull him and set him aside. And on a side note, if you want to replace your belt, here's the part number. I'll link a new belt below. They don't sell the OEM ones on Amazon, but you can get them at a Toyota parts dealer, or just this Goodyear one is available. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this negative cable. It's a 10 millimeter right here. We're going to pull this guy off, and we'll set him aside. And then I also kind of just put like a rag on that so it doesn't arc on the frame or nothing. Now let's unplug the alternator. There's a little thumb tab button or a finger tab. You just push that, and then just kind of wiggle and just gently pull this backwards. It could be stubborn sometimes. And then this cover on top, this little gray cover, you got to kind of gently pry that off, and then we'll get this nut off right here and remove this 10 millimeter nut. Don't lose this because we're going to need to reuse it, and then you can wiggle and pull that off right there. Now this wire harness guide, there's a little tab on that plastic part. Just gently push the tab upwards and then slide this off of the metal tab. It really shouldn't give you too much trouble, so if you're struggling, you're doing it wrong. Hey guys, real quick, if you own a 12th generation Toyota Corolla, I just want to let you know I do have a repair tutorials video pack. It's over 17 videos of repair videos and other stuff. Basically all the most common repairs and some uncommon repairs that you'll run into owning a Corolla. It comes on a USB stick. It also includes the front brakes, PDF, tutorial walkthrough, other PDFs. You get all the part numbers, you get links to the featured tools and all the parts, aftermarket and OEM. All you gotta do is go to my fourth wall page, link below, go to the video pack, add it to your cart, and then if you're on desktop, you can just go to the right and hit checkout. If it's on mobile, it's a lot more easier. Put in your shipping address, your payment info, and then shortly after that, you'll receive your USB stick in the mail. It's $19.99, but it's totally worth it. I highly recommend it. All right, back to the video. It should just slide off like that. They're made to be like easy, quick disconnects. And then we'll take this bolt off up here, and then we'll take the bottom bolt off down here. The bottom one is a 14 millimeter. This is the longer one. It's like the big long alternator bolt. Break this loose, and then we'll go ahead and get this guy out. Slide this bolt out right here, and we'll set it to the side. It's a long bolt. It goes on the bottom. Now I'm going to remove the top bolt. This is a 12 millimeter. We'll break it loose and then just get it out of there. Save this and set it to the side. Now the alternator, we're going to grab it and kind of wiggle it and pull it forward. It'll be like a little stiff, but if you just kind of grab it and just kind of gently go back and forth and go upwards with it. Careful not to hurt your fingers or slam your fingers or nothing, and careful not to drop this. We'll set this aside right here. And if you have the OEM alternator, your Toyota part number will be on here. Here's the Toyota part number. Now the OEM one on this Toyota parts website, it's only available from Toyota at the moment of this video as far as getting the dealership one, the OEM one. But I would highly recommend you go to like your local AUTOZONE or O'Reilly's or NAPA Auto Parts and get one, because alternators can be kind of finicky. And if you have to return it, then, you know, at least you can just drive down the street. Looks like it only fits the 20 to 22 Corolla, or that's what this says. But if we go on Amazon, there are a lot of aftermarket options that are half the price of this. Take note, this says it's a 100 amp charger. So basically when you look on Amazon, that's what you need. There's also an alternative part number you could search for if you really wanted to. But if it was me, I would either go to the Toyota dealership or this parts website and order it, or just get one from the local auto store. But like I said, they do sell them on Amazon for half price, and some have pretty high ratings, like 4-star, 5-star. I've just had bad luck with alternators and O2 sensors when I buy them online and they go bad. It's hard to replace them, but it's up to you. I'll make sure to link some, so check those out below. This one actually has good reviews, and even though it doesn't have the Toyota part number, it does have all of the same specifications, and it does specify that it does fit ours. And even with the Amazon fitment checker, it did say it fits. So with your alternator, when you go to put this on or put a new one in, you might want to take this washer and push it back a little bit. And what you do is you take the bolt, the long bolt, screw it in, maybe like halfway, and then rest your foot or your body on the alternator and gently tap that bolt to push that washer backwards. This is so when you go to put it on, it's not like impossible or extremely difficult to get it back over that mounting spot. So this pops back a little bit, but don't do it too much because you could push it out too far and then you won't be able to thread it in. So go ahead and put this alternator in. Just slide it in right here. Sometimes new ones, they don't, they just slide right on with no problems. Sometimes you have to adjust that washer with that trick I just showed you. So go ahead and get this long bolt in, thread this bolt and get it started, but don't take it down all the way. And then on the top, we're gonna get that one started, and then we'll be able to tighten both of them down. But for right now, let's just focus on getting them started, lined up. All right, so we'll get this guy, you know, threaded probably about halfway in. And then now that those guys are in, we could tighten these down. Since this vehicle has an automatic tensioner, we don't really have to worry about adjusting this at all. So just get it in place, and then it should be fine. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and tighten this guy down here. Now that we got the top one completely tight, go ahead and cinch this down. And then the torque for these ones is 18 foot-pounds and 32 foot-pounds. So bolt B is 32, bolt A is 18. And the A is the top, B is the bottom. Alright guys, so it's all bolted in, torqued down. Let's put our electrical back on the alternator. You could slide this wire harness guide right here. It should just slide right on. It shouldn't give you any trouble at all. And then it'll just lock in place. Then we could plug in this connector right here. It can only go one way, so you just slide that guy on. And then we're going to put this wire back on here. Make sure that the tabs go into the holes. We'll put this nut on it. It's 10mm nut. And you want to be kind of more gentle with this guy. You want to tighten him down. And then his torque spec is in newt inches. So it's not like a foot-pound. It's not that, you don't have to tighten this down too much. Just get it snug plus a quarter turn, and that'll hold it plenty fine. Yeah, about 87 inch-pounds, which is not that tight at all. So it's not foot-pounds, it's inch-pounds. Then we got our drive belt right here. Let's put our drive belt back on. All right, and then I got my belt diagram that I drew earlier, so I'm going to just reference that, take my belt, and snake it down here. Belts can be kind of annoying to put on. On this car, it's actually not that bad at all as far as belts go. This isn't a stretch belt. This isn't like some crazy loops. It's just like a pretty standard, you just got your belt, and then you have a tensioner that you move to put the belt on, and then you could release the tensioner. So as far as belts goes, it's just like pretty easy. What I do is I just put these over the pulleys that I can. The pulleys that have the grooves, I'll try to get on those. Kind of got to sneak it under here. The crank, it kind of doesn't want to go on the crank pulley because it rubs against the engine, so just kind of help it get seated on the crank pulley. Bring it around this AC pulley, and then what I do is I get it in this like formation, and then I'll use the tensioner up above, and then I'll slide it over the water pump. Because the water pump has no grooves, it's like a smooth pulley, so I'll just lift this guy up, and then with my other hand, I had to do it off camera, I just slid it over the smooth pulley right there, like that. And you know, just double check, make sure everything looks good, make sure the belt is in the grooves and sitting straight onto the pulleys. And then you can let the tensioner go, and that's good right there. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to reconnect the negative terminal, so we can start the car and make sure everything's working fine. Okay, now that everything's on, we could start the car, and we'll go inside the car. Now you could bump start it, which is like you cycle the key very gently, and then the pulleys will turn, or you can just start it right up and just see where you're at. But when you start it, everything should be working. The belt shouldn't be wobbling or making noise. It should just be spinning perfect. If you have any problems, just turn the car off and then just, you know, realign the belt. And that's pretty much it, guys, how to do the alternator. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. That's all the information I got for you. The rest of the video is just some products and other stuff I got going on. Totally up to you if you want to stick around. I got a 15% off Oxido.com promo code. Now, Oxido has a bunch of products, but what they're mostly known for is they're really good aftermarket headlights. So if you got an older car, 80s, 90s, 2000s, even a newer car, if it has a bulb, they probably got an upgraded bulb for you. You may have seen aftermarket LED headlights on Amazon, but the thing, I'm not going to say any names, but the thing is, they have a lot of issues. Sometimes they start to flicker after a few months, or they get hot and the LED burns off. These are available on Amazon. You can get them there. However, if you go to the website and use the promo code Guillermo Auto, you can get 15% off. It's really easy. All you got to do is go to the website on your phone or your computer, and then put in what kind of car you have, what year, make, and model, you know, that stuff, and then it'll display to you all of the available lights for your vehicle. You can get headlights, tail lights, interior lights. Highly recommend getting some good interior lights. You'll be surprised how bright it is. So just type Guillermo Auto in at the checkout and you'll get 15% off.